COVID-19 has brought so much uncertainty and confusion. We are waging a war against an unseen opponent, which not only brought so much fear, but also caused so much division.
As the battle rages on, one great source of comfort for us are the new heroes of the world.
The frontliners.
They bring hope amidst the chaos and confusion. They strengthen our faith in humanity and give us light and hope during these troubled times. In our very own section, we have frontliners who answered the call of duty,
risking their health and their lives, braving the dangers of the outside world,
so that the rest of us can survive safely inside our homes. Here are our F heroes.
Dr. Carl Holehole is a radiologist at St. Paul Hospital, Cavite. As a radiologist, he plays an important role in diagnosing whether patients have COVID or not with the use of chest imaging.
Mirja Roca is a nurse manager at an urgent care clinic in San Francisco, California. She oversees over 75 staff and providers who not only take care of patients that go to their facility for urgent care needs, but also handle 50 to 100 COVID testings per day.
Dr. Ria Victoria is an obstetrician-gynecologist at Calamba Medical Center. She handles pregnant women or women that have concerns with their reproductive tract. Doctors, like Dr. Ria, are exposed to bodily fluids when delivering babies. This increases their exposure to COVID. Would you believe that Dr. Ria has delivered 30 babies since March?
Dr. Rachel Cruz is an internist gastroenterologist at St. Luke's Medical Center. She treats patients with stomach complaints. Recently, she did an endoscopic procedure wherein she used a flexible tube with a camera to look inside the stomach of a recovering COVID patient who was having difficulty swallowing. There are still plenty of sick people being admitted at the hospital she's working at, and Dr. Rachel will continue treating patients as much as she can.
Dr. Pam Palacios is a doctor specializing in radiology at Binakayan Hospital and Medical Center. She diagnoses patients by reading the imaging from CT scans, X-rays, MRIs, and mammograms. She also performs ultrasounds on different body parts. She does not treat COVID patients, but she helps in their diagnosis by detecting abnormalities in the chest X-ray and CT scans of suspected patients. Timely diagnosis of COVID pneumonia can allow for rapid management of the disease.
Dr. Ana Salazar Fajardo is a physician who specializes in family and occupational medicine. She is currently the medical director of Perpetual Health Medical Center in Biñan, which is a teaching and training hospital. As an occupational health physician, she ensures that their healthcare workers and frontliners are taken care of and are healthy and safe from COVID or other illnesses. Their hospital treats COVID patients, and as a teaching and training hospital, they want their doctors in training to learn from this experience and have a better understanding for their preparedness in taking care of the health of the community.
Dr. Joanne Pascual is an associate pathologist at the De La Salle Medical and Health Sciences Institute. She supervises the laboratory and the medical technologists who are in charge of collecting specimens and running tests for COVID patients. She is responsible for making sure that laboratory operations go smoothly and staff are safe, protected, and healthy.
Dr. Marwin Matic is a general surgeon with a subspecialty training for head and neck cancers. Currently, Dr. Marwin is an on-call doctor at several hospitals and is only active at St. Francis Cabrini, where he also serves as an administrator and head of the Infection and Prevention Control Committee. He coordinates with hospital departments to make sure that their healthcare frontliners have a good fighting chance against COVID. He regularly visits the hot zone areas, the emergency room, ICU, and isolation station to ascertain if all the processes are being followed, to see if patients are being managed well, and to check if healthcare workers are wearing proper protection.
Dr. Joanne Perez is an internal and geriatric medicine physician in Walla Walla, Washington. Right now, she is caring for older patients who need to be treated for other serious medical conditions. The medical care of the older population does not stop because there is a COVID pandemic, especially since they are more vulnerable to COVID.
Dr. Josepella Chong is a pulmonary and critical care doctor in Stockton, California. He has been actively treating COVID patients in intensive care units. Dr. JB directs the team of nurses, respiratory therapists, and other healthcare workers in providing treatment. Despite the depressing and stressful situation that Dr. JB walks into on a daily basis, he still bravely wears his superhero cape with his quirky and warped sense of humor.
Aside from having heroes, we also have a survivor.
Dr. Dayriz Dayao is a general physician in the Philippines, but chose to be part of the academic community when she moved to Chicago, Illinois. We are blessed today with her presence because she is a COVID-19 fighter and survivor. Anxiety and fear did not dampen her spirit, and she continues to be a beacon of hope for her family and friends.
So my experience with COVID actually was one of the most difficult encounters I have ever faced in my life. And I may say it was also memorable because the onset of my symptoms happened during the time of my birthday. My husband is actually a nurse, and he's working at a nursing facility or geriatric facility here in Chicago. I think it was around April 9 that he tested positive. He has been taking care of COVID patients. I must admit that I got scared. My actual greatest fear was being hospitalized. I was scared that if I go to the ER, I will be there in the hospital for a very long time and will not be able to see my family again. The lesson that I learned during this sickness is that I think it's okay to get scared, but it is important that we stay calm so that we can remain focused in how to plan ways to make our body stronger and fight this disease. I know that each person is different in terms of the time period of recovery, but the main thing that we have to think is, even though we're sick, there is one common goal, and that common goal is to go back to your original health and be together with a family. So my family serve as an inspiration for me to really get better. So my advice is, especially for those people who are having anxiety with regards to the situation, you should always focus on good vibes and do not lose hope. It's gonna be hard to find good in every day, but we have to pick these little moments that we are grateful for. Thank you for giving me a chance to share my experience. So stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
To our Frontliner friends, allow us to take you away from the front lines of danger to the front lines of our hearts as we honor and give you thanks for all of your service.